Hi, I'm so happy that you're here. This video is meant to take the place of a consultation. So if you're having issues scheduling a consultation with me, then this video is for you. I'm hoping to cover everything that you might ask during a consultation. There's a good possibility that you're going to have some other questions, so just feel free to contact me if necessary. But what I want to say, I want to tell you everything that I tell my clients when I see them face to face or over Zoom now. I want to make sure that as you begin this journey into your divorce process, that you're really sure that this is what you want to do. I'm kind of an odd duck where I'm a divorce attorney and I really believe in marriage. And so I want you to take the time and think through this. Be sure that it's what you want because it's hard. And you know what? You're never better off financially after a divorce than you were before. You're separating things and, having two households to run on the same amount of income. So, and it's also really hard on your kiddos, but a lot of times, especially if you do it this way, you can work together and get a plan for those kids to help alleviate some of the struggles that can happen with divorce. So I'm just gonna go through my mediation agreement, and that's what I go through when I meet with clients in my office. And I just wanna say, this is all that I do now. I believe in mediation so much. Even if you struggle communicating, I'll be there to help you get to the issues. And really what ends up happening is we sit down and we do your divorce paperwork together. So we'll work through, which is kind of gonna bring me into what my role is. So I'm an attorney and I can give you legal information. I can tell you the facts, things like when you are married in the state of Minnesota or Wisconsin, your assets are thought to be both of yours. It doesn't matter whose name they're in or who's using it. It belongs to the marriage. So part of what we do is a spreadsheet, and we're gonna look at who owns what, and we want that to end up being fairly equal. So that'll be one thing we'll walk through. I'm not going to advise anyone. So if there's someone that needs some legal advice or more pertinent information, I'm going to refer you to find an attorney to represent you on a limited scope or just to bounce some questions off. So my role is I'm an attorney who can give you legal information, but I can't give you any advice. So you'll get a plan that'll work, that'll meet the criteria of the law, but there's no advice given. So that's what my role is in this process. Another piece of that is I need to be extremely neutral. I can't take one side over the other. So if there's any conflicts of interest, if I know either one of you, then we're gonna have to talk about that and make sure that everyone is okay with any relationship that I have. So that would be out in the open. So I'm just a neutral person who helps the two of you communicate, find your issues, and get your divorce paperwork together and your parenting plan. The sessions are always confidential, and that's because we want a safe environment where information can just flow freely and you're not going to worry about it ever being used against you. You can't ever ask me if you decide to fight this out in court, which I don't think you're going to do because I think you're going to be able to work through this, but I can't talk about it. I can't share any information about what we've talked about in a mediation. The only time that I would talk is if I was worried about someone's safety. Another thing that's really important to remember or to do when we're doing a mediation is to make sure that you're disclosing everything honestly, because someone's going to find out anyway. In the end, you're going to need to show the proof. So when you give me information, have the paperwork to back that up. We want to make sure that we're dealing with every bit of asset information and financial information that you have, or this isn't going to work. which kind of brings me to another thing that I always ask my clients to prepare really good budgets. And I'll send you the forms to fill all this information out when you want to move forward. But that is so important because it's a key part of knowing, especially if someone's asking for spousal maintenance, otherwise known as alimony or spousal support. We need to see what your expenses are and what your income is and come to some middle ground on what's necessary for that. So I just ask that you please do your budgets before we meet. And how this will kind of work out is if you want to move forward and work with me, you're going to need to contact me, and then I would log you into my case. And I do that because remember how I said I need to be neutral? We're all going to be communicating through my case, and we're all going to see the conversation. So no one's going to think, are they having a side conversation? What are they talking about? We're all going to be upfront and open. And it's a safe, secure site where I'm going to send you an intake form that's getting lots of detailed information about your lives and your finances. And I'll have you send that back to me. I'll also send what I'm reading through right now, this memorandum of agreement for you to sign before we would start. Then when you get that information back to me, I will input it all into basic forms, and then when I'll be all set when we're ready to have your first mediation session, we'll be all set to move forward. People always ask, how long does it take? They want to, and it's so hard to say. It depends on the complexity of your assets. It depends on how you communicate. It depends on if you like me to walk you through step by step or you'd like to do a little bit on the side on your own. So there's a lot that's dependent. But I would say if you don't have children and you get along pretty well, I would think maybe two-hour sessions. When you have children, I'd add another 2-hour session onto that. So hopefully that answers that question for you. That is everything that I go through in a consultation, unless people have questions. So if you have questions, you can email me, you can call me, you can get a hold of me, and I am happy to help you. I am here for you, and I would love to assist you. Thanks.